Starting in five, four, three, two, one. Okay, I don't know how many times I have to tell you people that using authoritarianism to fight against authoritarianism only creates more authoritarianism and less liberty. See, now I know I don't have to tell my people that. I don't have to tell my liberty chasing, my liberty loving people this whole thing. But apparently there's still some people that need to learn. Let's talk about Senator Tom Cotton. Senator Tom Cotton, Republican from the state of Arkansas, is introducing a measure today that would basically be a woke tax. It's called the Woke Endowment Security Tax Act. And it's aimed at elite universities like Harvard, University of Pennsylvania, Cornell, and some of the other Ivy League institutions. It would create a 6% excise tax on any endowments that these universities receive. And this is designed to punish the proliferation of woke ideology on campus. And I'm not making this up. I'm not interpreting this a certain way. Tom Cotton actually said it. Check out the article I wrote right under this video. But I laid the whole thing out. But it's in his statement. It's even in the legislation. But it's supposedly to punish these universities for woke ideology and the rise of antisemitism on college campuses, which is an issue. We were talking about that last week when these presidents of these universities testified in front of Congress, and people didn't really like these answers. So Tom Cotton's response is to propose an extra tax on these universities. And here's the twist. You want to know where this money would go? About $15.4 billion that would go to Uncle Sam. For what? I'm going to tell you for it. This money would be specifically allocated to go to Ukraine, Israel, and the U.S. border security. Now, I'm sure some of y'all might agree with that last part. But again, the notion that the government should have the authority to create new taxes to punish institutions that don't align with it ideologically, it's about as good an idea as leaving your kid alone with Joe Biden, especially if you have a little girl. But I digress. Here's the thing. There are so many things wrong with this. For starters, this could impact scholarships. You put an extra tax on these universities, they use those endowments to grant scholarships to students who might not be able to afford to go to university or to go to some of these nicer colleges. But on top of that, it's going to give the government way more power than it should ever have. This is a very short-sighted proposition here, and I don't understand why anybody who claims to be limited government would go along with something like this. See, this just opens the door to having this whole tactic expanded, and yes, used against people who love liberty, used against people who propose these things. Y'all think it's only going to affect the people you don't like. That's not true. Haven't we learned our lesson from the Obama administration when it weaponized the IRS against right-leaning groups? Remember that? It wasn't that long ago. And I'm sure most people who are watching this are old enough to remember when that happened. Now, chances are this legislation isn't going to go anywhere, but you never know nowadays, right? I mean, this could be the intro to something that is done further. What maybe when Republicans do take back the Senate, if that actually happens. Or it could just be that Tom Cotton is doing this to make himself look good, to endear himself to the base. We've got a lot of legislators who do that nowadays on the left and the right. So it's probably not going to go anywhere. Hopefully not. But here's the thing. It may not go anywhere right now. But could it? But could something like this happen later on? Yeah, it's a bad idea. This is why we need to be watching what these people are doing. Just because they have an R or a D next to their name does not mean they're on your side. They are not. All right, let me know what you think. Peace.